Hello, everybody, and welcome to a tropical update here. This is a current look at the Atlantic right now. As you can see, pretty active Atlantic right now. We got Tropical Depression 26, newly formed Tropical Depression 26L in the Central Caribbean here, just south of Jamaica. Then we also got Tropical Storm Gamma still ongoing in the Gulf of Mexico right now. Then we also have a area of interest in the open Atlantic that has a near 0% chance of formation. That used to be the remnants. This used to be what used to be Hurricane Paulette many weeks ago. Really, I think it's been about 3 weeks or so since Paulette first formed here, and those are the remnants of it there. Um, First off, let's start off with a look at Tropical Storm Gamma right now. You can see this is the latest forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center as of Sunday, October 4th, 2020, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, right at 11. Center is currently located at 22.8 degrees north, 87.2 degrees west, with maximum sustained moment winds at 60 miles per hour, moving to the east at 2 miles per hour here, literally at a snail's pace there, moving to the east at a snail's pace. You can see the National Hurricane Center forecasted to make a secondary landfall here in over the Yucatan here, as it kind of slows down a little bit here before getting picked back up to nearly the due north there by what at that point should be perhaps Hurricane Delta if Tropical Depression 26L gets named, and I'll of course go into details of that situation a little bit later here. But uh, with the gamma here, looks like they forecast to turn into at least a post-tropical storm by about 7 p.m. Friday as it gets drifted on drifts on to the northwest here, nearly due north here by what at that point should be uh, Hurricane Delta if again 26L does indeed get named. Here's a look at Tropical Storm Gamma on infrared satellite imagery from GO 16. You can see earlier it wasn't really producing that much convection there, and then now one little big burst of convection fires off near the center of circulation. The storm is being sheared right now, so this big burst of convection isn't right over the center of circulation. Um, if this was right over the center of circulation, we'd be talking about a completely different situation than we are right now. But fortunately, at this point at least, that big burst convection is just to the north of where the actual center of circulation is. The center of circulation is right about here, give or take, if you could see my cursor in contrast to all those colors, right about there. Might be able to see a little bit better on the water vapor imagery there. No, you probably can't see it well, but right about where my mouse is, a little bit just south of that big burst of convection there, as you can see on that infrared, well, in this case, water vapor imagery here, and you can see a wider view of what the storm looks like right now. You can see there's dry air pretty much surrounding it from both sides here, from the west and then from the east here. Not much from the north and south, of course, but from the west and east here, pretty much. There is a lot of dry air trying to get into the storm here, but it seems to be fighting it off quite well here. And this is one of the reasons why the National Hurricane Center likely agree that whatever becomes of Tropical Depression 26L, again, if it does get named, it'll be called Delta, would become a hurricane due to Tropical Storm Gamma kind of moistening the environment from what it was probably not even 4 days ago, 3 4 days ago. If you remember, 3 4 days ago, pretty much most or all of the Gulf of Mexico was dry from a cold front that went on through. But now Tropical Storm Gamma has went through and moistened up at least the eastern part of the Gulf of Mexico here, um, making the conditions ripe enough for Tropical Depression 26L to potentially take advantage of here. And here's a wide look at the Caribbean and some of the Gulf of Mexico there. As you can see Tropical Depression 26L just south of Jamaica here, getting better and better organized with time here, firing off convection right around, and I think in the last few frames, pretty much right over the center of circulation there. So that's not really good news to see there at all. And you can see Tropical Storm Gamma swirling around in the Gulf of Mexico, not moving much, if any, over the course of the past 2 hours here, over the past day, really, as it's been in the Gulf of Mexico. But like I said, it's forecast to make a secondary landfall over the Yucatan over part of the Yucatan here as a weakening tropical storm or perhaps tropical depression at that point due to Tropical Depression 26L coming on in and pushing Tropical Storm Gamma per se out of the way. And here's a look finally at Tropical Depression 26L right now, and you can see tropical storm warnings in effect for the Cayman Islands, all the Cayman Islands really, and then hurricane watches in effect for the island of the island of Youth, Cuba, and then parts of western Cuba there, and then a little part of western Cuba near Havana there under a tropical storm watch as well too as what at that point the National Hurricane Center are predicting Hurricane Gamma to make landfall or come really close to making landfall there. As you can see, um, there's a little forecast cone of error here, so the storm could either drift more to the east here, more to the west here, follow this exact forecast line here, the center line of this cone. So there's still enough room for it to perhaps miss Cuba here, or go right over Cuba here. On this cone, at least, it's more so of a chance of going right over Cuba, but there is that little bit of a chance there on that extreme western part of that cone there of Tropical Depression 26L, avoiding making landfall at least over Cuba, which if that does happen would not be good news at all, which would give it more time of open water and more time to intensify here without the obstacle of uh, going over Cuba for a short time. And you can see in this forecast cone, the National Hurricane Center forecast Tropical Depression 26L to enter the Gulf of Mexico as a hurricane here. The National Hurricane Center forecast Tropical Depression 26L to peak as a 105-mile-per-hour Category 2 hurricane on the substance scale. So quite a potent system here, and they forecast it to make landfall. Looks like anywhere from extreme western Louisiana, maybe extreme parts of Texas there to parts of the western Florida Panhandle there. So quite a wide area for the storm to make landfall here in the latest forecast tone. And keep in mind, like I've said with Gamma before, this cone could easily shift more to the east, more to the west, more to the north, more to the south here with time. So just please keep an eye out on this forecast cone over the next coming days as the situation progresses here. Um, the forecast track and forecast intensity are likely to change with this system here, so please note that. And then here's a look at the infrared satellite imagery from GO 16 of Tropical Depression 26L here, and you can see just how much convection it's gotten over or near the center of circulation. The actual center of circulation is just a little bit to the north of that, of a lot of that convection. I read about where my cursor is, if we could see that in contrast, pretty much just due south of the island of Jamaica there. Unfortunately, the radar site in Jamaica isn't working, so I can't give you radar imagery from Jamaica here. But needless to say, satellite imagery is showing, and microwave imagery as well, is showing a developing tropical system here out of Tropical Depression 26L here. And you can see some dry air was trying to get into the system earlier, and it's been trying to fight it off, and especially in these later frames here. Looks like it's trying to fight it off well, and looks like it's so far succeeding at this point in time. Unfortunately, here, succeeding from getting rid of that dry air trying to impede on this storm. And here's a quick look at tropical storm Marie here. As of Sunday, October 4th, 2020, 5 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time Advisory 24. Center is clearly located at 20.6 degrees north, 130.1 degrees west. Maximum sustained 1-minute winds estimated to be at 65 miles per hour. Winds to the northwest at 8 miles per hour, and forecast to keep on weakening from this point on, and eventually turn into a post-tropical remnant storm at about 2 in the morning, Hawaii Standard Time Wednesday here, and continue to rapidly weaken on with time here. And like I said in the past few updates, the storm absolutely poses no threat to land. Only real threat it poses to is to any boaters and marine interests that happen to be in the immediate area of Tropical Storm Marie, which is really fortunate news to say at the least here, that it's not impacting land at all at this point. You can see on satellite imagery right now, Marie getting just worse and worse here with time as it just goes straight into those unfavorable conditions here for this storm. I can see it a lot better here in the water vapor imagery, how it's ingesting all that dry air into its core there, which, if we don't know much about how tropical cyclones work, dry air is one big killer for developing systems like Marie, or even weakening systems like Marie here, I should actually say, for weakening systems like Marie can be really a hamper to storm's intensity here, and you can see it quite well in this case here with Tropical Storm Marie, the dry air easily getting into Tropical Storm Marie, and thus making it one of the factors that's contributing it to make it rapidly weaken on with time. The other two factors are, of course, wind shear and cooler sea surface temperatures. Marie is currently running 2 as well. If dry air wasn't the only main issue Marie wasn't dealing with. Switching basins here again, we got a newly formed tropical storm here, Tropical Storm Chanhom, right now in the Western Pacific right now, and it's forecast to peak as a 100-mile-per-hour Category 2 hurricane on a Saffir-Simpson scale, or about 85 knots, as you can see in this forecast cone from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, just before making landfall in Japan here. Looks like perhaps as a weakening tropical storm, or maybe strong, not weakening tropical storm, a weakening typhoon, I should say, for Japan here, perhaps, or a weakening strong tropical storm, I should say. It could either make landfall as looking at this forecast cone. So something to watch for you guys in Japan, or if you know anybody in Japan, just make sure they're aware of this storm going toward them. I'm sure they're probably aware already, but just in case, in the event that they aren't aware of this storm heading for them, just make sure they're aware of this and they're taking, of course, the proper precautions for this what could be a typhoon here later on down the line. Of course, this is not Japan's first rodeo with storms of this magnitude. You guys have gone through many storms like this, and storms even stronger than this too before. So as long as you guys, of course, remain vigilant and take the needed precautions, necessary and needed precautions here for this storm, you guys will make it through just fine. And then remember to get official information from places like the National Weather Service here. Type up weather.gov, or just type up National Weather Service, or just type up nws.gov is what I type up sometimes too. And you'll know in the correct page when you see all this crucial information right here in front of your fingertips here. That's when I know you're on the correct page right now. And you get up-to-date information for anywhere in the continental, or either in Alaska and Hawaii as well too, part of the United States. Any part of the United States you could get localized forecast for here. Even in Guam, and I believe in I want to say American Samoa too, you could also get forecast for that part of the world too, as it is part of the United States technically. And then say you want to get a local forecast for an area, say you live in Corpus Christi like I do, click over here and it'll take you, well, actually I clicked the wrong forecast office there, but you can pretty much see the same thing there. This happens to be the weather forecast office in Austin, San Antonio, Texas here, and you can get the latest forecast here. Usually they give you little sliders here you could go through and plan your day out in advance here. They also have a map here, right here where you could check and see where you live. Like say you live in maybe in New Braunfels, Texas. Click New Braunfels, Texas on this map here. Click it on this map here, and you can get it'll give you a 5-day graphical forecast, as you can see right here, and it'll give you below that a 7-day text forecast, and it also gives you a better map here, so you can zoom in and zoom out on this map as well, and get the latest official information for that part of Texas there. And also, if you want to, if you don't know exactly where you live, or you only know your place by zip code, or the nearest city or town name near you, you can put that into here in this little search bar here, zip code or nearest city or town name, and it'll give you also the same information you see right in front of you here, localized to your area of Texas or part of the country. And they also have a hourly weather forecast right here, so you can plan your day out even hour by hour here if you have anything to attend to, anything that you have going on that you need to be aware of the weather in advance before going. And then for official information on the tropical activity here, take a look at the National Hurricane Center here. As usually, type up National Hurricane Center, type up nhc.noaa.gov, or just type up NHC, and it should be the first result that you see. And of course, you're on the correct page and you see all this crucial life-saving information right in front of your fingertips right here, right here, and in the correct page and you see all that. So that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. A little bit for the long one. I apologize for that, but I just wanted to make sure all this information is talked about here. And I guess for a basic summary here, for those of you guys who are skipping to the end of this video here, in summary, keep an eye on Tropical Storm Gamma. At this point in time, not forecast to be much of an issue for the United States here. And if it does make it to the United States, it should be a remnant or dissipated system by that point, due to the influence of what could be Tropical Storm Delta, which is the next name on the Greek alphabet of the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. Speaking of tropical depression, 26L, Tropical Depression 26L is forecast to become a hurricane either as it goes over or really close to Cuba, western Cuba here, throughout the next few days here, and eventually head into the Gulf of Mexico, where the National Hurricane Center forecasted to peak as a 105 mile per hour Category 2 hurricane here, making landfall either as far west as extreme western Louisiana or parts of western Florida, the western Florida Panhandle here, in the next within about 5 days from now. And of course, both of the tracks for both of these storms can change in intensity, and also in forecast track here for both these storms from Gamma and also for Tropical Depression 26L. So please keep an eye on the latest here. We're looking at an ever-changing situation here, an environment here. So make sure to keep up with the latest by looking at the National Hurricane Center, National Weather Service, and stay up to date with your local officials as well. Also, take the time to make sure you have your hurricane plan ready to go. If you don't have a hurricane plan, make sure you make one, or if you have one already but you haven't updated it for this year, make sure you update it, and you'll do fine if you listen to your local officials, National Hurricane Center and National Weather Service. You'll make it through just fine, and uh, wish you the best rest of the hurricane season here. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. And that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. I apologize for the long duration of this update here. Just wanted to make sure I go through all my bases here for these storms here in the world of the tropics right now, and that's pretty much about it. So hope everybody has a great day and night wherever you guys are. Stay safe, of course. Till then, see you guys in the next video. Links are down below. See you in the next video. Peace.